In 2021, artist Enid Crow with filmmaker Jan Peterson created a series of self-portrait photographs called Action for Endangered Molluscs. Join Art Lab as we interview Enid Crow about the series. Tell me about Action for Endangered Molluscs. Where did the idea for the project come from? I wanted to attach my name to an environmental cause that hadn't yet been taken by another celebrity. I was fascinated by endangered species because it seemed like some of the animals were getting all of the attention, like forest elephants, red pandas, blue whales, piping plovers. And what do all these animals have in common? These are not animals one typically finds on the menu at an upscale American restaurant. Well, that's true, but dogs and cats aren't on the menu either. What do blue whales, red pandas, piping plovers, and forest elephants all have in common? Let's see. Elephants walk the earth. Blue whales swim. Piping plovers fly. They have good PR firms? Well, I agree that publicity is vital for any animal facing extinction. Just ask the dusky seaside sparrow who went extinct in 1987. Never heard of him. I'm talking about the intrinsic characteristic that all these endangered animal species have in common. One more try. Okay, I give up. The animal species that get all the attention are classified as vertebrates. What do you mean by the word vegetamite? That's vertebrate. Simply put, an vertebrate is an animal that has a backbone running down its back, like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals. They're all vertebrates. That sounds like all the animals I know. Are there others? See, this is exactly the problem that I'm trying to address with this piece. Working hard to survive isn't good enough these days. You need a dynamite PR firm to get the attention of humans and to avoid extinction. Let me give you a quick biology lesson. The animal kingdom is divided into two major groups, invertebrates and vertebrates. Vertebrates make up only 20% of the animal biomass on this planet, and yet they get 99.9% of the attention of humans. I see my art project as a rallying cry for the remaining 80%, the invertebrates, who heretofore have not had a seat at the table unless they've been served on the table. It sounds like you're taking a cue from Bernie Sanders. But honestly, I don't know what you mean by the word introvertebrate. Can you explain? Invertebrates are all around you. They are arthropods, like insects, annelids, like earthworms, snardians, like jellyfish, and mollusks, like squids and snails. There are far too many invertebrates to list. Let me play devil's advocate. Why isn't a squid a fish, which would make it a vertebrate, like a whale? I mean, it is listed on the menu under seafood. No, squids are not fishes, and whales are mammals. And isn't a worm also a form of a snake, which would make it a vertebrate? Also wrong. Worms are not snakes. Okay, let's move on. You mentioned that 80% of the animals on this planet are invertebrates. So why Action for Endangered Molluscs? Why not Action for Endangered Mushrooms? Well, first of all, mushrooms are not even members of the animal kingdom. They're members of the plant kingdom. And second of all, I submit to you that clams are the animals that are most befitting of a feminist artist. True, because they have fanciful names like Fat Pocketbook. And most of all, nobody seems to be talking about mollusks. Now that we know the difference between invertebrates and mollusks, Tell me, what are you doing in this series of self-portraits? In Action for Endangered Mollusks, I impersonate the 6 species of endangered mollusks on the New York State list of endangered species. These mollusks have colorful common names like dwarf wedge mussel, rayed bean, pink mucket, Chittenango ovate amber snail, rayed bean, club shell. But are you actually impersonating mollusks? I mean, you seem to be wearing t-shirts dressed up as different middle-aged women. Can humans be classified as mollusks? I mean, I seem to know a few senators who don't have a backbone. No, humans are not mollusks. Not even the ones who tried to gut the Federal Endangered Species Act regulations a few years ago. What I am trying to do with this project is give voice to the endangered mollusks to make sure that they have a fighting chance of survival. I print the common names of endangered mollusks on t-shirts in order to give them publicity that the mainstream media has so far denied to them. And I insert myself into the largest media market in the United States. Has anyone influenced your work? You might say that I am following in the footsteps of animal rights attorney Stephen Wise, who is arguing in court that elephants and chimpanzees should have legal personhood. Except instead of spinning my wheels trying to convince oblivious judges of the obvious, that a legal system that treats animals as if they were furniture is unjust and frankly stupid, I am trying to influence the court of public opinion by actually turning mollusks into persons. What kind of feedback have you received from environmentalists? The environmentalists tend to glaze over whenever anybody talks about animal rights, so there really hasn't been much of a reaction, except a few of them have asked for mollusk recipes. What have the animal rights activists had to say? Some animal rights activists have accused me of misunderstanding the concept of legal personhood for animals. They say I am confusing the concept of legal personhood with a human being. But if judges and the news media can't understand the difference, why would an artist? I think what's going on is the animal rights activists are a teeny bit jealous because I was the first to attach my name to mollusks. Mollusks are fabulous once you get to know them. For one thing, they're vital to a healthy ecosystem, but they never brag about it. Mollusks do sound fabulous. Now that you've finished impersonating all 6 of New York State's endangered mollusks, what plans do you have next? Pollute the water supply to get a 7th and 8th? Well, thankfully, given how much harm humans inflict on animals, from eating them to destroying their habitats, there's no shortage of invertebrate species I can attach my name to. You'll be seeing a lot of Enid Crow in the future.